Hi friends, this is my fourth video recapping the 2020 Always Rejoice Convention of Jehovah's Witnesses, which is online this year. In this video, I will recap Friday afternoon session part 2. So today's session was 2 hours long. So what I did was I really removed a lot of the parts of the video that distracts and confuses and heightens the emotions. And I believe what is left is the true agenda. And in this video, what I'm going to do is I will provide very little commentary because it really does speak for itself. In an effort to keep the video short, in the beginning, what you'll see is a lot of snips from the helpers, just to give you a general idea of where the video was going throughout their portions. And then I'll wrap it up with Stephen Lett and Toni Morris's talks, at least parts of their talks, including the part where Toni talks about the elderly being tired and how it's absolutely no excuse to complain. I wonder how much of it you're going to be able to endure. It was rough for me, I'll tell you. You know, I don't think I even saw Toni Morris smile once. I don't know if I've ever seen him smile. But even in this video, he talked about puppies and kittens that he loves so much. But even through that, he didn't even smile. Also, to save time in this video, I left out a lot of the Jehovah, 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 which is always ever present. The videos show footage of flowers, animals, colors, and the human body. I'm sure the videos made them smile, just as one of the speakers had mentioned, but then again, they were designed to do that.
This 2020 convention is being broadcast in 240 lands. We anticipate over 14 million individuals will be able to enjoy this program by this means. Your generous donations make this possible.
Are you convinced that Jehovah wants you to rejoice? That can help us rejoice in life even now in these difficult last days. In the following video, I invite you to look for the answers to these 3 questions. First, how many species of flowering plants are there? Second, what practical needs do flowers serve? And third, how can flowers help us when we get anxious? You know, if you started today and spent a little time every day getting to know a different flower, your study project would take a little over 958 years. It's a good thing we're going to live forever, isn't it? But as Job learned, our joy increases when we're focused on Jehovah and on His works instead of on ourselves. Following the advice given to Job can also draw us closer to Jehovah. How much better that is than spending time with much of the world's entertainment that is debased. How heartwarming. Have you ever been anxious about food and clothing? Occasion were many poor people who had the same natural concern, and reminds us to trust Him when we are anxious. Never forget that it was Jehovah who gave us the ability to appreciate exquisite flowers and add to your praise of Jehovah forever.
Rice and beans, an appetizing tomato and pepper puree, laced with chili for a zesty taste. Note how Jehovah's provision of food gives evidence that He wants us to enjoy life. Man must live not on bread alone, but on every word that comes from Jehovah's mouth. With spiritual food, we needed to stay alive. When we partake of spiritual food, we find true joy. Happy are those conscious of their spiritual need. Jehovah provides a variety of spiritual food in abundance. His delight is in the law of Jehovah. Due to human rulership, many today do not receive adequate amounts of physical food. With such perfect gifts, we look forward to enjoying life forever.
What is your favorite color? Is it red, blue, green? And please take note how all of this wonderful design by Jehovah reassures us that our Creator wants us to rejoice. What do you think of when I mention the following? A white horse, a red horse, a black horse, a pale horse. Well, right away, your minds went to the book of Revelation, didn't they? And you understand what these four horses picture. The white horse pictures Jesus Christ as the enthroned king, riding in righteous warfare, picturing the bloody warfare among the nations in these last days, stark famine. And the pale horse we're quite familiar with these days, aren't we? Pale horse pictures dreaded disease, pandemics leading to death.
Our previous parts have reminded us that Jehovah's creation of flowers and food and colors all demonstrate that Jehovah wants us to be happy, to be joyful. The makeup of the human body proves that Jehovah wants us not just to exist, but to be happy. But no, Jehovah created our bodies to work as one complete unit. Do you think it's a coincidence that the darker and more depressing these last days have become? Now, we know that our primary work is that of preaching the good news of the kingdom. But even when this work is restricted due to world events, we still find ways to preach. And when we have plenty to do in the work of the Lord, in the preaching work, we're happy. And we're better able to put our troubles into perspective. Continue to have plenty to do in the work of the Lord. You'll be happy and you'll never regret it. Stay united, cooperate together, function properly. Well, similarly, the congregation is made up of many different members. Each member, each of you, whether young or old, strong or frail, all of you contribute to the whole and the beauty of the congregation. As the end draws near, Jehovah is gathering us closer and closer together in unity, and those bonds among us need to grow even stronger. Be determined to be as active as possible. Move in Jehovah's service. And two, may each of us do all that we can to promote unity. And if you do, you will be happy.
In the following video, note how Jehovah created us to enjoy a wide variety of sounds.
Praise Jah, for Jehovah is good. Sing praises to his name, for it is pleasant.
Does this not instill in us the desire to praise Jehovah? Does the sound of Jehovah's voice make you enjoy life? So, to protect our hearing, we might use acoustic earmuffs to block out harmful noise. The reality is, we live in a world full of damaging and unpleasant noise. We refuse to listen to anything that can distance us from Jehovah. Like what? Deceptive reasoning and false accusations, for example, are very dangerous. They undermine our trust in Jehovah's organization. Some who were once part of the Christian congregation now attempt to mislead us. They spread half-truths and outright lies about Jehovah's organization.
You mean kind of like the apostates?
Harmful sounds might also come from non-Christian workmates, schoolmates, or contacts on social media. So conversations with them are rarely faith-strengthening. They might weaken our faith, making our Christian life course more difficult. Therefore, we need to protect our ears from damaging noise by not listening to it. So put on our figurative headphones and listen to wholesome things, our favorite sounds, delightful sounds from Jehovah. This is what we hear at our Christian meetings. And when we sing at our Christian meetings like we've seen in the video, our sounds praise Jehovah. What we read in our publications, what we see on our website, what we hear in upbuilding conversations with our brothers and sisters, all of these beautiful sounds protect our ears. Sometimes we might not feel like putting on our headphones. Now, this is where Jehovah comes into play. He gives us the inner strength to stop listening to sounds that might be tempting and yet are so dangerous.
What's your favorite animal? But really, the things that man has made cannot compare to the things Jehovah has made. Were you and the others with you watching that video smiling? Or maybe even laughing a little bit when you saw the little dog jumping back and forth? Now, can you imagine Jehovah and Jesus discussing designing an elephant? Like in the future paradise, when we can really enjoy animal life the way Jehovah truly intended. At a time when many people are not finding meaning or joy in the things that man has made.
The harmony of Jehovah's people in a world that is so divided is a modern-day miracle. In contrast, Satan's world around us is becoming more divided, but Jehovah's people more united than ever. And when we attend our assemblies and conventions, we especially see this. These are Jehovah's people he's gathered to his organization and is preparing for the new world. Those who promote peace have joy. Happy are the peacemakers. Even a dead body is peaceful. If you think about cows, they make milk. Bees make honey. A cheesemaker makes cheese. A peacemaker makes peace. Do not be bragging and lying against the truth. This is not the wisdom that comes down from above. It is earthly, animalistic, demonic, being disagreeable, argumentative, competitive, terrible quality. It is animalistic, characteristic of animals who lack spirituality and are often contentious with each other. But genuine peacemakers work very hard to avoid these two peace disturbers, jealousy and contentiousness. They neither flaunt their talents, nor do they feel threatened if others are more skilled preachers, teachers, organizers, or shepherds. They're very happy to be considered a lesser one. A peacemaker may desire certain privileges of service, but he is not consumed with ambition. See, but it didn't say he should ambitiously grab to be an overseer, which says we should not think more of ourselves than it is necessary to think. Appreciate and value the good qualities and talents of others. Focus on their good points, not their flaws. And how thankful we can be that Jehovah does that with us. Otherwise, we'd be doomed, wouldn't we? Now, here's a third thing we can do. Never presume that fellow Christians are trying to outdo us. We are no judge. We have no right to negatively judge our brother's motives. Well, if we love our brother and we love Jehovah, we will smash any hint of jealousy. We'll smash it with love. Faithfully support those who serve in responsible positions, such as the elders. Here's one more thing. Center your life on serving Jehovah and helping others, rather than focusing on ourselves, maybe our feelings, our perceived reputation. So may each of us prayerfully work to have the attitude of wanting to be a peacemaker. And when we do this, we prove to Jehovah we're the kind of person that he wants in his new world. So the new world will be a very peaceful place. But if we're a peace promoter now, we will convince Jehovah that we will be an asset toward that peace of his new world.
As one of Jehovah's Witnesses, you look forward to perfection. We suffer from crime. We suffer from natural disasters, this pandemic we suffer from, sickness, poverty, war, and other calamities. In fact, should the rest of our days in this wicked system of things be controlled by all the problems and the grief that mankind is suffering? Even though hardship befalls us before the Great Tribulation and during the Great Tribulation.
Well, overall, Tony Morris seemed to struggle in his talk. He spoke very slowly, he repeated himself several times, and he seemed very lethargic. Look, take that for what it's worth. It could be innocent. He could be, he's an old guy after all, and he could be on medication, or I don't know, he could have been hitting the booze. I really don't know. He also tells the viewer, I think 2 different times in the video, to focus on some really creepy artwork, some shots that they flash in front of the screen, and I You know what? I didn't even look at them. I fast forwarded through all of that because it was of Jesus, and I could just only imagine what those pictures contained.
I will be joyful in the God of my salvation. See, even during these dire circumstances, while we're waiting patiently, Jehovah wants us to rejoice. Jehovah wants us to do. We look for opportunities to be generous. Stop judging, and you will by no means be judged. And stop condemning, and you'll by no means be condemned. Just stop it. Even in the congregation, some can become overly critical. They can become resentful, envious. They might enjoy privileges that you don't have in the congregation. If we're jealous, it's rotten to us in a spiritual way. Mind your own business. Busybodies. They disturb the peace of congregations. They interfere with the congregations enjoying the joy. So we refrain from imposing our uninspired opinions on others.
You mean just like the uninspired opinions of the governing body?
Don't be a busybody, developing this negative spirit that could disrupt the peace of the congregation.
My negative disposition made me a very impatient, sarcastic, and demanding person.
Because of their close relationship with Jehovah God. Now, by keeping our life simple, we trust that Jehovah will provide for our needs. And something I've said for years, remember, Jehovah provides for our needs. We can experience great joy, even in these difficult last days. And this can happen, especially in these critical last days that are continuing to get worse and worse, all the days. So this means day after day, this negative attitude, poor me, one affliction after the other. Like the sister in the video we saw earlier, just absorbed with negative things. We're going to benefit from not needlessly focusing on the afflictions and the things that we deal with. So agonizing over problems that are beyond our control does not please God. But to be daily afflicted and agonizing over these things that really we are no control over, we do the best we can to resolve our problems, especially as some of you older ones. Just keep in mind, just because you're tired, that you're not close to Him. Things have changed. So keep your close friendship with Him and don't dwell on the afflictions of being elderly. Not healthy. And then those hours on the torture stake, the joy of sitting with his Father again in the heavens, oh, my, it got him through it. Endure under tribulation. So while waiting for the fulfillment of all of Jehovah's promises and the things that we have to deal, cling to Jehovah, have that close relationship with Him, and you will experience the greatest joy.
So that's it for today, friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, it's all about Jesus. It's not about Jehovah. If you have not seen my other videos, please tune in for the real truth from Scripture. I appreciate you liking and subscribing to my videos. Also, check out my Facebook page, and if you would like to support me, there's a link down in the description of this video. Thank you so very much, and I hope you have a great day.